At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Texas Rangers. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your local Tri-State Porsche dealer. Visit them at PorscheTristate.com. By Optimum for the best offers on TV, internet, and phone. Visit Optimum.com. By Toyota, the national clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by New York 811. Be sure you call 811 before you start any digging project, big or small. Make the 811 call. Well, you know, every year the Mets play a couple of noontime starts, and it's for the camp kids so that they can come to the ball game with their friends. And for many kids coming to the game on camp day, might be their first time in the ballpark. Hey, who's that guy Stengel? Educational as well. Got your ticket, through the turnstiles, up the escalator. Where are you going to sit? Wow, that place is big. Lots of green, too. Hi, kids. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling with you today as the Mets wrap up a two-game series against the Texas Rangers. Michael Conforto hit another leadoff home run last night, his 6th of the year. Michael probably projects as something other than a leadoff hitter down the road, but right now he's giving the Mets great comfort from that top spot. You know, got a hanging curveball on a second pitch from Griffin and hit it out of the ballpark. Gary, facing a team that has a leadoff hitter with that kind of thunder is always so difficult for a starting pitcher, because what are you trying to do? As you see his numbers in the first inning leading off the season, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get through the first inning on limited number of pitches, trying to kind of get your way through the first time through the order. But when you're facing a guy with that much power, it really presents a lot of problems for the opposition. On the mound today for the Mets is Rafael Montero. Didn't have great numbers his last time out in Colorado, but when you consider Coors Field, it wasn't bad at all. You know, I watched that game. He was much better than his numbers said. I thought it was one of his better games all season long. He's 2-8 in his 20 starts for the Mets. He has really struggled here at Citi Field. See if he can get on the right track today. And for Texas, the little lefty Martin Perez, who has really struggled lately. You know, they've felt so highly about this little left-hander that they have club options on him through 2020. He has not performed that well, and especially of late. 32 earned runs in the last 22 innings pitched. The Mets have not swept a home series yet this year. They've got a chance to do it in this two-game set against Texas. It's the Mets and the Rangers on a gorgeous day in New York. All the action coming your way on SNY. Brought to you by the State Farm agent of the game, Pat Cawley of Glendale, New York. Contact Pat at patcawley.com. By Lexus, experience amazing. And by Citi, proud partner of the New York Mets. Be here Friday, August 18th for Free Shirt Friday when the Mets take on the Marlins at 7:10 p.m. All fans in attendance will receive a Michael Conforto t-shirt courtesy of Taiwan Tourism Bureau. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays. Time for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. What do we got today? Buster Posey, 3-run homer in the first inning last night, helped the Giants to a 6-3 win over the Cubs. Corey Kluber pitched a complete game, but it took 4 runs with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Walk-off 3-run homer by Yan Gomes for the Indians to beat the Rockies. And the Dodgers lost. They even lost a game they led by 2 runs. What's going on? Jake Lamb, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers last night 6-3. Perfect summer day in New York. 80 degrees, not too much humidity. Perfect day for a walk in the park or a ball game. And the first pitch of said ball game is coming up. Tonight at the ballpark was a good one for the Mets. The home runs were flying out of Citi Field. So with the t-shirts, Chris Flexen got his first big league win. Big moment for him. Even got his first hit. Jerry Blevins was perfect, striking out the world. A.J. Ramos, first save as a Met. Leg flying high. 5-4 win last night for the Mets, and they go for the 2-game sweep of the Rangers this afternoon. There's the Texas starting lineup. Starts for the 2 rookies in the 7 and 8 holes. Drew Robinson at second base. Brett Nicholas behind the plate. Lots of left-hand hitters for Rafael Montero to contend with. Adrian Beltre, 38 years old, playing the noon game after a night game. Hit a home run last night.
The Land Rover numbers for Rafael Montero. You can see in the 62 and the third innings pitched, the number that bothers me against this Texas Ranger team is he's given up 8 home runs. He's going to have to keep the ball in the ballpark to win today. And defensively for the Mets, you've got the same outfield as you had in last night's game, but some switches in the infield. Neil Walker moves from first to third. Wilmer Flores, who came in late last night, starts at first base. Reyes and Rosario up the middle. And of course, day game after a night game, Rene Rivera gets to start.
So the diversification of the Mets infield continues. Neil Walker hasn't played a game at third base since his second big league season in 2010. He hadn't played first base until a couple of days ago at all in the major leagues. And now, all of a sudden, he's a guy who is more versatile around the infield.
We're doing it with all Mets personnel, Gary. You're starting on Friday night at second base in Philadelphia.
Shin-Soo Choo getting set to lead off for the Rangers. The top 3 in the Texas batting order last night, Choo, Andrus, and Mazzaro, went a combined 0 for 12 against Chris Flexen in the Mets bullpen. Montero will try to keep that up this afternoon.
Choo, outstanding eye, 61 walks, great on base percentage. Have to throw him strikes.
And the first pitch of the afternoon from Montero is a fastball for a strike, and we're underway. It was the best part of Montero's game in Colorado the last time out. Only 1 walk over 5 2/3 innings. And if he throws strikes, generally success follows. Choo rips one foul, and quickly it's 0-2. Nice play on the carom by the ball boy. Got to play the netting now, right? Got to know the carom's off that 8-foot net down the line.
That's right.
Choo with an on-base percentage of .363, and he takes the changeup low and in 1-2. Shin-Soo Choo now 35 years old, 13th year in the major leagues. First came up with Seattle. Elvis Andrus having a fine year, waiting on deck. 1-2 from Montero, and he comes inside with another changeup, and it's 2-2. First time for Montero facing the Rangers. He's played a 2-game series in Texas back in June, finishing off the season series here, and then we'll see the Rangers in 3 years, the way the interleague schedule works. 2-2 coming to the leadoff hitter, and he smacks one to right center field, and that'll go in the gap. Cut off by Conforto on a bounce. Choo heads for second, and he slides in safely with a leadoff double. 11th double of the year for Shin-Soo Choo.
Just a classic Choo at bat. Montero got ahead of him with 2 quick strikes, then fooled around with some sliders and changeups down and in, and Choo just took them until he got that fastball away and laced it into right center. Talked about Conforto in the open. It's a tough out to lead off the game also.
So a leadoff double for Choo, and now Elvis Andrus, who was 0 for 4 last night, but having his best offensive year, hitting at .296, 15 home runs, 31 doubles. That's 6th in the American League. Walker, newcomer to third base, shortens up to the edge of the grass. Just looking at Neil out at third base with an instant runner at second. He's a little unsure of himself, where he's supposed to look, where he's supposed to play, which way he's supposed to turn.
Well, you want to get that little 45-degree angle so that you're looking at the runner and the hitter at the same time. Remember, you do not charge unless it's bunted hard enough for you to charge and gets past the pitcher.
Choo can steal a base. He's got 9 this year. Rosario keeping an eye on him. And Montero misses away to Andrus, 1-1.
Well, this is a chance we get to see Andrus, what kind of situational hitter he is. Don't forget, he's always been a guy that has lots of sacrifice bunts. A lot of times they come in these situations where he tries to bunt for a base hit, and if he's thrown out, he gets the sacrifice.
3 times he led the American League in sacrifice bunts. Tops one foul, and Montero gets ahead 1-2. Rangers start the day 6 games under 500 and yet still on the fringes of the American League wildcard race, the tightly bunched American League wildcard race that has 3 teams, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and Seattle, all on a virtual tie for the 2nd spot behind the Yankees. But Texas is only 4 games behind and a substantial winning streak away from being right there. Here's the 1-2. And it's hit the other way. Coming on is Bruce, and he'll make the catch. And Chu didn't have a chance to get back to tag. And that's the first out of the day. That's the West standings. Texas sitting in 4th place. Seattle, with that 2 games over 500 record right now, is in that virtual tie for the 2nd wild card spot. So it is a real dogfight.
And the Angels, who are only 2 games under 500, spent what, the better part of 6-7 weeks without the MVP.
They've gotten a huge boost from a pitcher named Parker Bridwell, who won last night, beat the Orioles, and is now 6-1. He was just supposed to be a stopgap guy in the rotation. He's been their best starter lately. Here's Nomar Mazara, and he takes a fastball inside for ball 1.
Angels also believe they're going to get Garrett Richardson back at some point.
Richards has been hurt so much over the last 2-3 years. Mazara has cooled down after a hot start, just 22 years old though. 0 for 4 last night, hitting just 175 over the last 44 games. And he reaches for the changeup and fouls it off, 1-1. Even with Mazara's struggles, Jeff Bannister has kept him in this number 3 spot in the batting order, figuring that he's got the talent to work through his difficulties.
One thing Texas has been very good at is hitting home runs. We talked about it last night. They also score early, a lot of 1st inning runs.
And the changeup misses, and it's 2-1. Adrian Beltre waiting on deck. Three infielders on the right side from Mazara. Walker playing fairly close to the bag at 3rd, leaving the shortstop hole open. And foul back. High fastball from Montero, 2-2.
Well, that's why Montero's game, I think, Gary, has picked up a little bit. When he's gotten in these counts, he's challenged people as opposed to being afraid to pitch to contact.
Really was what characterized his first several go-rounds in the big leagues from the time he came up for the first time 3 years ago. Is that in the minor leagues, he was a precision pitcher on the corners. In the major leagues, he pitched off the corners and got himself in trouble with walks. 2-2 on the way. Grounded back to Montero off his leg and into no man's land. It's an infield hit from Mazara. Over to 3rd goes Chu, and the Rangers have runners to the corners.
We've seen this happen to Montero a couple times. The speed of this fooled him. He jammed Mazara, and it kind of took a little longer to get there. But we've seen it because when he follows through, he is facing first base. Doesn't have a chance to get his glove in front of him, so it goes off his right knee. And like you said, into no man's land, Gary.
Like he was trying to get that glove in the right spot, but ball didn't have a lot of pace on it. So here's Adrian Beltre, who homered in the game last night, his 446th career home run, and he takes a fastball for a strike. I was a little surprised to see Beltre in the lineup today, but you know, he missed so much time early in the season. Didn't come back from a calf injury till late May, and he is bound and determined to play every game he can. There's a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, we had that little clip from John Daniels last night talking about what a gamer and how he plays hurt. This is one of the reasons Beltre has these numbers. He likes to be in that lineup.
There are only 5 position players active right now who are older than Beltre, and none of them play nearly as much as he does. Ichiro Suzuki, Carlos Beltran, Chase Utley, Victor Martinez, Carlos Ruiz. I mean, Beltran and Martinez at this point are mostly DHs. Slider on the outside corner, he got him. Beltran didn't think so. Mark Ripperger rings him up for the second out, and a big strikeout for Rafael Montero.
Well, really, he made 3 perfect pitches. Fastball both away, and he gets the call here from Ripperger, who's had a nice, healthy strike zone for the pitchers early in the game.
You see the umpiring crew today. Phil Cuzzy, the crew chief, at the plate last night. Long Island native Vic Carapazza at second. Greg Gibson at first. So Montero gets a big strikeout. Now he'll have to face the dangerous Joey Gallo, who hit a monstrous home run last night. His 31st of the year, 3rd in the American League in home runs, despite that low batting average.
I know it's the first inning. I'd be very careful with Gallo. With Gomez on deck, no comparison between the two hitters as far as the damage they can do.
And Gallo takes a strike on the corner. Perfect pitch by Montero, and it's 1-1. Well, you see the numbers there. Lots of homers, lots of strikeouts. Also had an RBI double in the game last night. A rare non-home run for Gallo, who only has 66 hits. 31 of them have been home runs. And he chases the pitch away, and it's 1-2. And Montero doing a nice job of staying on that outside corner against Gallo.
I like the approach. See how he pulls off the baseball? He pulls off it because he's looking to pull. So running that ball away with some meat on it is a good way to approach him.
Pitches deep into this first inning, and Montero with a chance to get through it. Ahead of the count on Gallo, 1-2. Gallo able to foul that one off. Another fastball away.
Better swing there. I like the elevation. He likes the ball down. He's a good breaking ball hitter. That's Carlos on deck. Something across those Texas letters. Be a good pitch.
Now Rivera steps out in front of the plate, gives signals to the infield about what to do if Mazara takes off. Mazara has been getting the smallest of leads at first base. And again, not getting far away at all. And a balk is called on Montero, and that's going to bring in the first run of the game. Chuk comes in to score. Mazara goes to second on the balk by Rafael Montero, and it's 1-0 Texas.
Let's see where it happened. Oh, see how he dropped his hands there? Just dropped them from his ear to his neck, just in that little period of time, and not go to the plate. Cost him the run.
First career balk for Montero. It cost him a run. Now another runner in scoring position. 1-2. And Gallo takes just off the play with a changeup, 2-2. And that's an unfortunate flinch by Montero. He was right on the edge of getting himself through this opening inning unscathed. Two coming, and Gallo hits one deep to right. Back goes Bruce onto the warning track. Back at the wall. It's out of here. Second home run in the series, 32nd of the year for Joey Gallo, and the Rangers have put up a 3 spot in the first inning against Rafael Montero. Gallo is a phenomenon, a 3 outcomes monster, and he has his 32nd home run.
Pretty sure that was a fastball there by Montero. Although the swing looked like he was out in front a little, but I mean, that just so much power, bat speed, which we don't measure very often. Incredible by Gallo.
So the Mets in an early 3-0 hole. Here's Carlos Gomez. Gomez 1 for 3 last night. It's the 14th time this year the Mets have given up at least 3 runs in the first inning. It is a tough hole to work your way out of on that regular basis.
97 given up by the Mets, now 85 first inning runs scored by the Texas Rangers. See, the balk changed that entire inning. Once he balked the run home, the runner at first goes to second. Gallo should not see a pitch to hit after that. Now, if he swings and strikes out at a ball you bounce, that's great. If he doesn't, he goes to first, and you face Gomez, who can be pitched to.
And then Gomez is hit by the pitch. And so this inning unraveling for Montero. He was right on the edge of finding his way through it, committed the balk. Now he's given up a 2-run homer and now hit a batter.
Right in the forearm. What was the game? Was it Steven Matz's game where he was out of the inning with a stolen base at second base?
The overturned call, that was Sunday night. And all of a sudden the first inning unraveled on him. See, I want to go back to what you just said, though. Okay, you've got the balk that brings in a run. Mazzara goes to second. It's a 1-2 count. Now you've got Montero, who still is a relatively inexperienced pitcher on the mound. Pitching coach, manager, catcher, does somebody have to remind him, hey, this is the situation, this is who's on deck, this is what we need to do?
Yes, to all of those questions. I think that, you know, there's certain pitchers that have a feel, or they've been around long enough to know what's going on. Other pitchers, you gotta, aid, help through the process. And Rafael would be one of those pitchers with that inexperience. Just sprint out there and say, hey, don't worry about it. Runs in, balk, don't worry about it. Let's just make sure we get Gallo out on a pitch that he has to swing out of the strike zone. If he doesn't, we're fine. We're going against Gomez, although he was hit by a pitch.
Now Drew Robinson, rookie utility man, playing second base today.
Good move by Montero. Quick. And the tag applied late to the back of Gomez. He wants to go.
Robinson at the plate, another guy with power. And Montero keeps it away from him. Robinson hit 11 home runs in 66 games in AAA this year, 3 more in 30 big league at bats. Montero falls behind 2-0. Robinson making his 10th start for the Rangers. Rougned Odor getting the day off after getting hit on the foot last night. 30th pitch of the inning upcoming. And now it's 3-0 to Robinson. Brett Nicholas, the rookie catcher, on deck. The inning that would not end for Rafael Montero.
Young player, could be swinging 3-0 because of his power.
There's a strike, 3-1.
It's a shame because Montero's got good stuff today. He does. He's got a real sharpness to his fastball.
Gomez at first with 2 out. He's running. Foul ball. 3-2. And Gomez will come on back. As a catcher, when that runner's going, you leave yourself so vulnerable to that foul ball. So now Flores will play behind Gomez. He'll be running on the 3-2 pitch. Robinson lifts one foul, and we'll do it again. Drew Robinson, Las Vegas product, drafted the same year as fellow Las Vegas native Bryce Harper. Just took him a little longer to get to the big leagues. Harper was the first overall pick in 2010, and Robinson went in the 4th round, and that's outside ball 4, and this inning just keeps on going. First walk given up by Montero. So in quick order, balk, home run, hit batsman, walk. And now the number 8 hitter, Brett Nicholas, is doing the catching today.
You know, I get asked by people all the time, if a guy has certain stuff, why is he not a success in the major leagues? It takes more than your ability to throw hard or have pitches. You've got to be able to manage innings. You've got to know who to pitch to and who not to pitch to. Who's a guy that is going to give you an out, who is not going to. It's an entirety thing that you have to know. And that's why you go through the minor leagues. Minor leagues, you're just trying to get people out. Then when you get to this level, you start to kind of try to figure out, all right, let's be smart about how I go through this lineup. Who's going to hurt me? Who can't hurt me? All of those things are very important with the numbers, of course, but
Nicholas hits one toward the right side. Flores went for the ball. He has to get back to the bag and does not do so. Bases are loaded. Throw back to third, but Walker was nowhere near the bag. Well, Flores made the break for the ball. Didn't look like Montero was going to get to first base, so Wilmer had to try to retreat, and Nicholas beat him there for an infield hit.
Well, a lot of mistakes on this play. One, the ball wasn't hit that hard. Jose was shading to right, shading to the right side. Wilmer not quick enough feet to get there, and a mistake by Montero not to get there before. Stepped on the toe of Nicholas. That's why it wasn't an out.
So now with the bases loaded and 2 out, the pitcher Martin Perez, who's 1 for 13 in his career, chance to take a turn at bat before he takes the mound, which is always a good thing for a pitcher. Ball and a strike.
Mets have their bullpen working already here in the first. 38 pitches or so for Montero.
And Jason Bradford is up. Well,
he hasn't even digested his omelet yet.
This is one of those innings which is like a dream where you fall into a nightmare that you just can't wake up from.
So true, Gary. It's a great way to put it. You're looking for a mulligan somewhere. Can we start this game over here at 1:30?
And finally, Perez strikes out, and the inning comes to an end. But 9 men came to bat, and it unraveled on Rafael Montero. Joey Gallo, a 2-run homer. Mets come to bat, trailing 3-0. Rene Rivera gets the start behind the plate today. Jose Reyes moves up to the 2-hole with Asdrubal Cabrera getting the day off. Neil Walker starts at third, and Wilmer Flores in the lineup against the left-hander, and that lefty is Martin Perez.
Well, I had a little bit of a dyslexic moment in the open. As you see his Toyota numbers, I said he gave up 32 runs in his last 22 innings pitched. That's 23 runs and 32 hits for Perez. Fastball 90 maybe plus. Changeup is really his best pitch, and a pretty good curveball. And the defense behind Perez, same outfield as you saw last night. Gomez, the star of that outfield as far as being a Gold Glove. In the infield, 5 Gold Gloves for Beltre. Up the middle, Drew Robinson gets the start in this afternoon tilt, and Brett Nicholas behind the plate. Now the backup, Robinson Chirinos was the backup before Lucroy.
Michael Conforto has led off the first inning with a home run twice in the last 3 games. Mets have hit 10 leadoff home runs this year. They had 10 last year. And this is shocking to me. It makes the Mets the first team in Major League history to have at least 10 leadoff home runs in consecutive seasons.
Really?
Yeah. Now, the Astros had 14 last year, 9 this year. They'll probably do it too with George Springer when he gets back from the DL.
I just thought any team with Ricky Henderson would have done it a few seasons in a row.
Quickly 0-2 to Conforto, who's got 6 of his 23 home runs against lefties this year. And Martin Perez has been vulnerable to lefties in a way that he never has been in the past. Last year, the lefties hit 176 against Perez. This year, 311. So that has been a big part of his difficult season. And Conforto fouls it away. Jose Reyes on deck, and then Yoenis Cespedes. Perez had Tommy John surgery in 2014, missed half of that year and the next year, and then came back last year, never missed a start. 33 starts, went 10 and 11. Slider off the plate. 4.39 ERA last year. His ERA this year more than a run higher. Two coming, and Conforto foul tips it for strike 3. So Perez has a strikeout to start his day.
There's a pitch you don't see very often, a sinking fastball from a lefty to a lefty. Very difficult pitch for them to handle because they don't see it that often.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Reyes, who was 0 for 2 last night and now 0 for his last 12. Corners in against Jose, and he takes the fastball low and away.
Watch this sinking fastball from the side. You see how the ball just keeps going down on Conforto.
Well, Perez has always been a ground ball specialist, and that sinker gives you an idea why.
Well, he's got a lot of double play balls, but a lot of that tells you that he has a lot of base runners also.
He's given up 151 hits in 117 innings. That's the third highest hit total allowed in the American League. And Reyes swings and misses at the changeup, and it's 2-2. Martin Perez, 26 years old, native of Venezuela. When the scouts watched him as a youngster in Venezuela, they referred to him as Reyes hits it out to right center, and Gomez comes over to call. 2 out. They referred to Perez as the Venezuelan Gator.
Like Ron Guidry Gator?
Like Ron Guidry, because he's a little guy who threw pretty hard, left-hander. They didn't go with Louisiana Lightning. They went with Venezuelan Gator.
Well, no disrespect to the great Ron Guidry, who is it 78?
Yep.
Was when he went what
25 and 3.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was good. Had that 18 strikeout game against the Angels. Here's Yoenis Cespedes. Homered last night, and he gets hit on the foot. So second batter hit in this game. Gomez got hit in the top of the inning, and now Cespedes gets hit in the bottom of the inning.
I think it was a breaking ball down and in. Yes, it was. They say back foot slider. There it is. Back foot. Done. With a bounce, though.
On a hop.
That should help.
Take a little bit of the sting out.
You know, we're talking about Guidry. He had his slider working every year, but 78, because he had picked it up from Sparky Lyle, helped him with the grip, and he made it tighter. And I think, I could be wrong, I always thought that he was the one who began people clapping with 2 strikes, anticipating a strikeout.
I think it started in that 18 strikeout game against the Angels. Here's Jay Bruce. And Jay not happy with that strike call by Mark Ripperger, but Mark has had a big strike zone throughout this first inning on both sides. Jay is 0 for his last 13. He's got Cespedes at first with 2 down. And he pops one up. Andrus on the outfield grass. Comes to get it, and that retires the side. After 1 at Citi Field, 3-0 Texas. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Shin-Soo Choo led off the first inning. He'll lead off the second inning. So you know that's not good news for Rafael Montero about how that first inning went. 40 pitches in that first inning, 3 runs. It started with Chu doubling to right center field, and Montero does a good job getting it on his hands that time to get ahead 0-2. So how do you regroup as a pitcher after you've had that kind of first inning where you let things snowball? You've had maybe 5 minutes to sit in the dugout and think about it, and now you go back out to the mound.
Well, I think in today's game, if you're asking me what I would have done 30 years ago, it's a little different than today's game. I think that you're back to that quality start kind of feel. So if you're Montero and you're thinking this way, okay, I've had as bad an inning as I can have, but really I want to go out here and give my team a chance to win. That means 6 innings, 3 runs. So I can't give up anything more the rest of the game. It's a little pressure on yourself, but it's good to play those games. Be excellent from this time forward, and you might give your team a chance to win or come back.
I mean, it makes sense in anything that you do that you want to learn from your mistakes but not dwell on them.
That's right.
So as a pitcher, if you've made the mistake of balking, you made the mistake of throwing a bad pitch to Gallo, you made the mistake of hitting Gomez, you made the mistake of walking Robinson, you made the mistake of not covering the first base quickly enough on the ground ball. So how do you avoid thinking about all those things when you go back out to the mound?
Well, I think, Gary, one of the things about being any kind of baseball player, a hitter or a pitcher, is that you have to have a short memory. And I know that's cliche, but it's so important that you are able to wash yourself. That happened. It's gone. There's nothing I can do about it, and I've got to be excellent from now on. The walk to Chu will not help.
That was Andrews taking all the way after that walk. And remember that Montero was ahead on Chu 0-2 and lost him to a walk. That's his second walk of the day. Things went poorly enough for Montero that the Mets had bullpen action in the first inning, and you have to think it wouldn't take a whole lot here in the second to get that bullpen going again. Andrews flied out to right his first time up.
You just can't allow your team, if you're Terry Collins, to get that far behind. So that's why you'd have the relievers on alert. Montero's got a good move to first base. Quick.
Almost picked off Mazzara in the first inning. Andrews bluffing the bunt with Walker playing deep.
Watch Montero. Watch his arm, how it drops straight down against his thigh. And then he proceeds to throw the pitch. A lot of pitchers do it a lot of different ways. Some reach towards second base. Some bring it straight up to their ear. Don Sutton used to bring it right to his back leg and hide it there before he threw it to the plate.
Chu runs, looked like a hit and run play, and Andrews fouls it off.
Sorry, I talked through that. You knew that Bannister and the Rangers with Andrews love to play a lot of hit and run. I told you before, he likes to bunt a lot with guys on first or second base. There's Jeff Bannister. Spend some time with him when you have a chance. He's inspiring, real leader.
Slider just off the corner. 2-2.
Been lucky enough when he's been in the postseason to talk a lot to Jeff Bannister, and he's been through so much physically, personally, when he was a player himself, and has rebounded from that to become a skipper.
First 2 years as Rangers manager, American League West champions. That's up the middle, and Rosario with a beautiful stop, and he gets the force. Oh, wow. Ahmed Rosario showing off tremendous range to get to that ball up the middle, and somehow made the flip to Reyes to get the force.
Well, 2 things here. One is the unbelievable ability of Rosario to get to that ball up the middle, turn over, and kind of softly flip it to Reyes to make it look very easy. But the one thing you didn't notice off the bat of Andrews that had amazing spin, it was hit off the end of his bat. So all that spin on it, and he's still able to make the play up the middle have the wherewithal to turn over and the soft throw to make sure he gets the force out.
I mean, that ball was by him. Right. He had to reach behind him out towards center field to snag it in the first place, and then with the ability to roll over and get that throw away. So that is a very difficult first out. And now Nomar Mazara, who hit the ball off the knee of Montero that went for an infield hit in the first. Andrus, a base stealing threat. He's got 20 this year. Changeup misses to Mazara. Turns that one around and hits it up in the promenade. Almost out of the ballpark.
No, to finish the answer to your question, Gary, the negatives of it when you're a young inexperienced pitcher is that you start to panic a little when people get on base for the next inning. You start to not look over your shoulder figuratively, but you feel the weight of the manager and pitching coach and guys in the bullpen that are going to replace you soon unless you get your act together. You feel that.
And I would imagine it has to be even more so when you've had the career that Montero has had so far, where the leash has not been long. When he's had some difficulties, he's found himself back in AAA or in the bullpen, and here he is off, you know, a string of pretty decent outings since he's last come back from the minor leagues. But here, one of these horrible beginnings to games reaches up and grabs him.
Listen, he hasn't done a lot to inspire great confidence, but at the same time, with all the injuries to the Mets pitchers.
Andrus runs, the throw by Rivera, and the tag just a shade too late. It may be one the Mets want to look at. Second base umpire Vic Carapazza called him safe. 21st steal for Andrus if it holds.
Interesting. I thought the ball beat him. Where's the tag go? Looks like it went on his forearm or wrist. So did he get his fingers in before the tag was applied? Yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. Very close. Sorry.
The Mets are still making up their mind. Here's another look. I think they might have a case, but they're not going to challenge.
I think he did. He got him right on the elbow before those fingers got off with the outside laces of the glove. Oh, laces don't count.
Laces
outside of the glove.
Yep. And that might be why they decided not to challenge. That maybe they thought the laces got him, but the glove didn't. In any event, no challenge. Now he's trying to steal third. Rivera's throw this time. Walker could not get the tag down, and Andrus steals not only second but third as well. Not a good throw by Rivera. He had a chance to get him with a good throw.
Well, Walker was far off the base, so not only did he have to get there, and once it wasn't a perfect throw, he was really just trying to make the catch. The tag, applying the tag, was secondary.
Now the infield comes in, and Andrus faking down the line at third as it's hit back past the pitcher, but Rosario comes home for the tag play. Safe! Ball appeared to get there in time. Rivera put down a tag, but Mark Ripperger said safe, and we'll see if the Mets challenge this.
Talk about stealing a run. How about that series of events by Andrus? Watch his fingers. Looks like he just got his left hand to the plate before the tag was applied. Watch his fingers. I think he did. I think he got in. It's not going to be changed.
Nope, Mets are not going to challenge it. So it's a fielder's choice. Andrus steals second, steals third, and despite a good throw by Rosario, beats the play to the plate.
Was that on 3 consecutive pitches?
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
So Mazara now at first. He gets an RBI. Not a base hit, just a fielder's choice. And now Beltre bats, and it's 4-0 Texas.
That'd be the greatest trip around the bases I've seen a base runner have in quite some time.
It's like Reyes in his prime.
fingers are 2 inches away. To me, it looks like the glove is on his elbow. Yeah, he was out. That was a bad no challenge by the Mets. Bad choice.
1-2 to Beltre, who struck out looking his first time up.
We always castigate Major League Baseball because they don't always get the call right. Well, sometimes teams don't apply the rule correctly or apply their chants correctly.
Well, the way it works is that every team has a little war room just off the dugout where they've got a series of monitors to be able to look at all the angles that we show on TV and that the other broadcast shows on TV. And in 30 seconds, they've got to communicate to the dugout whether they believe it's worthy of a challenge. You know, I've always felt as though that shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, it should be just the manager's decision.
Well,
I agree.
Use your judgment based on what you see with your naked eye. If you think it was an egregiously bad call, challenge it.
The umpires have to call with the naked eye. Why don't you have the managers have to be part of their game plan too?
I mean, here's the thing. As Beltre pulls one foul, the reason why replay was introduced was because of the egregiously bad calls. The Jim Joyce call on the Galarraga perfect game, the Phil Cuzzy call in the playoffs on the ball down the line. There was a series of them over a few years that led to the call for replay being instituted, and it made sense. But by giving teams the chance to look at replays before they decide to challenge, now you're getting into more minutia as opposed to just correcting the egregiously bad ones. That's line over short, a base hit for Beltre. So if you want to reduce the reliance on replay and get the egregiously bad calls overturned, just take away the team's ability to review it on replay and just let the manager with his naked eye see the bad call and challenge it. And if it's not egregiously bad, don't challenge.
Not only the manager and his coaching staff, they can huddle together, and that would give them the ability. What'd you see? I'm telling you, I would challenge it because I think he got him. The ball beat him. I think he got him. I would challenge it. Those are the things, and it would take 2 seconds for guys to decide.
Because really all you're doing now is you're pitting the judgment of each team's replay coordinator against the judgment of the umpires who are watching it in Chelsea. Right? It's like a video game. As opposed to what it was meant to be, which was to fix the really bad calls.
And I think also, Gary, it would make it aesthetically more pleasing if that became on the manager and not on a staff of folks watching the game on TV. Video.
1-2 to Gallo, who hit one up in the Coca-Cola corner for a 2-run homer. His first time up, his 32nd of the year, and his second in this series. And Montero's tenure in this game could be running short. 25 pitches in this inning after 40 in the first inning, and the Mets bullpen is cranking again. Bizarre at second, Beltre at first with 1 out. And Gallo able to lay off 1-2. You know, we've talked several times about Joey Gallo as Gomez on deck and how unique a player he is. He's got 32 home runs and 20 singles this year. There are only 2 players in Major League history who finished a year with 30 or more home runs and have had more home runs than singles. Mark McGwire, he did it 4 times. And Barry Bonds did it in his 73 home run season. And that's it. And now Joey Gallo on a path for that. Bounces away from Rivera, but not far enough for the runners to move, and it's 2-2. Rangers are a home run hitting team. They're second in the American League in home runs. They've now hit 175. You know, the Mets are a home run hitting team too. They've hit 163, so the Rangers with a dozen more. 2-2, and that just misses, and Gallo able to work the count full. Gallo has struck out 138 times, but he's also walked 45, so he's got a pretty good eye. And lately he's been pretty consistent. He's got an 8-game hitting streak going, and has his average all the way up to 213. 3-2 coming, and he struck him out. So Montero with his third strikeout, fans Gallo with the slider, and there are 2 out in the inning.
Well, good choice on the 3-2 pitch. Do not throw him a strike. There's a reason guys strike out so many times. They don't identify pitch location, and they're just swinging. So he's trying to hit a 3-run homer. Throw in the dirt. Go sit down.
So 2 out and 2 on. Now Carlos Gomez, who got hit on the forearm by a pitch his first time up. Big uppercut swing, nothing in 1. It's kind of redundant, isn't it?
How many times do you say uppercut swing?
Free swing.
Launch angle, Gary. You gotta get on top of it. Launch angle is what it's all about.
And that one hits Gomez, so he is hit for the 2nd time, and that loads up the bases.
This ball's not that far inside, but because you allow the hitters to wear body armor, they don't have to get out of the way. So he's on top of the plate. Ball's coming in. He doesn't move. In fact, he kind of just stays right where he's at because he knows he's going to take it on the elbow. So that's what you got by letting the hitters wear body armor. No one's afraid.
And it's part of Gomez's game. He's now been hit 13 times this year. We were talking last night about Don Baylor and how he wouldn't give an inch. Got hit 250 some times in his career, but he wasn't wearing body armor. Bases loaded, 2 out.
He was just built of armor.
Yeah. And never rubbed.
That's right. Let me say that Gomez is not at fault there, because the only time I find a hitter at fault when they lean in.
Right.
He just stood his ground, but he's able to stand his ground because he knows that his elbow's not going to swell up 3 times the size of it.
Drew Robinson walked his first time up. And Montero throws it by him, and it's 0-2. A 40-pitch first inning, 33 pitches already in the 2nd inning. 0-2 coming, and he got him looking. Side retired. So Montero limits the damage in the 2nd, but Elvis Andrus steals a run. Ahmed Rosario keeping it from being much worse with this spectacular play. Like a feather. 4-0 Texas in the 2nd. Every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Wilmer Flores leads off in the home 2nd. It has been beyond a slog for Montero over the first 2 innings. 74 pitches in 2 innings. When's the last time we saw that?
No.
I mean, he was fortunate to get through that 2nd inning with only 1 run scored. Wilmer has 5 of his 12 home runs against lefties this year. Neil Walker on deck, and then Rene Rivera. Facing Martin Perez, and Wilmer dumps one into shallow center. Gomez coming on, and he makes the catch. Gomez showing his range, coming in on that ball. Former Gold Glover, 1 out.
Yeah, he plays extremely deep. I think he comes in better on the ball than he does going back. He's also one of those guys that likes to steal a lot of home runs, and playing deep helps that. But outstanding jump he got on that ball hit off the end of the bat by Wilmer.
So one out now, Neil Walker. Neil had a hit last night, but just 4 for 31 since coming back from the disabled list. And takes a strike. Team Perez has really been hit hard lately. Last 4 starts, 0-4, ERA of over 9. But has an early lead to work with. And looking pretty sharp early on in this game. Right back to Perez. And quickly there are 2 out.
You know, high-speed pitch for both starting pitchers in this game. 96 by Montero, 92 for Perez. You know, Gary, you and I think we agree. We might not agree. But, you know, when you hear how a team's doing on a Tuesday or day games, sometimes it's happenstance. But the one thing about the Mets record in day games is that a lot of the games have been kind of sloppy. It's just not good baseball, and this has been one so far early.
Well, the Mets have the worst record in baseball this year in day games. They're 10-22, and they've lost 10 of their last 11. A lot of those have been Sundays, and in particular, the ones that stand out are the series where the Mets have won the first 2 and have a chance to sweep, and they just get obliterated in the last game. We mentioned earlier that the Mets have not swept a series at home of any length this year. I mean, this is game number 111, and they haven't had one home sweep. They've had 2 road sweeps this year. Teams that are successful win series.
Yes.
But teams that are very successful sweep series.
Well, they put their hammer down. You know?
Not satisfied after winning first 2 of a 3-game series or first 3 of a 4-game series. Rivera homered in his last start on Saturday. And he bounces this one to the left side. Andrews with plenty of time. Throws out Rivera, and Perez has a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. On we go to the third with the Rangers up 4-0. Landing, and to Steve Gelb's report today is brought to you by Bud Light. Steve?
Well, Gary, yesterday we noticed something really unique in terms of how A.J. Griffin threw that really slow curveball. He throws it without his thumb and his index finger on the actual baseball. Really just throws it mainly with his middle finger. I asked him how that developed. It actually happened when he was about 13, 14 years old, was trying to throw the curveball for the first time, but his hands were really small, so he couldn't fit his hands fully around the baseball. The only finger that would really fit around the ball was that middle finger, so he started throwing it exclusively with the middle finger and never got away from it. I asked him how difficult it was to control a pitch without using your thumb, though, and he says because he throws it so slow, he feels like he can get away with throwing it just in the zone. It's more of a show pitch for him than an actual strikeout pitch, and he feels like it just throws the hitters off a little bit, but a very, very unique way of throwing that pitch.
Flores handles the ground ball by Nicholas. Well, you had speculated last night, Ronnie, that it was probably a matter of Griffin's hands being small, and that's why he developed that.
You know what's interesting is that what AJ was saying about 13, 14, that is kind of around the time that pitchers start to try to develop a breaking pitch, and it was interesting. I've never seen anyone throw it like him. And if it was a show me pitch at the end, it was his go-to pitch, because you were asking me earlier about Montero. A.J. Griffin did a great job last night of giving up a lot of runs early, but staying in, plowing his way through, and keeping his team in the game, giving them a chance.
I was thinking the way A.J. throws his curveball is the way that a beaver or another animal without an opposable thumb would throw the ball. Right?
That's right. That's a good thought. I didn't think about it like that, but you got it.
Well, beavers hold their food with 2 hands because, you know, they don't have opposable thumbs. Perez strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts for Montero.
Boy, this lineup is turning over, isn't it?
Well, Chu getting his third plate appearance, and it's the third inning. He's already doubled and walked. Scored the first run of the game on a balk by Montero. That's really where the game started to tumble down for Rafael. He had just struck out Beltre for the second out in that first inning and looked like he might be able to extricate himself. He got a head on Gallo, and then a little flinch cost him the first run, and then it unraveled. One and one to Chu. He threw the fastball by him, and it's 1-2.
And it's getting louder as we go.
Off the corner. Is it that it's louder, or is it that we're not saying as much?
Yeah. Usually they use that truck advertisement, and rightfully so, to shut us up. I mean, we've been talking too much. Run the truck. Have those guys shut up for a while.
You think that's a concerted strategy?
Oh, absolutely. The late and great Bill Webb, he used to love to put the pitch count up. If we were talking too much, he'd be like, "Oh, the pitch count. Better be quiet."
Now we have sound effects that accomplish the same purpose. And Chu is on base again. Again, Montero got ahead of him. First time up he got ahead, gave up a double. Second time he got ahead 0-2 and walked him. He gets ahead again and walks him.
Well, a guy who walks that much and has walked that many times in his career is not going to bite at a 3-2 breaking ball in the dirt. He hasn't in his entire career. He's 35 years old.
63 walks this year now for Chu, up among the league leaders. Nobody up as yet this inning. There was action in each of the first 2 innings in the Mets bullpen, and Chu nearly got himself picked off. Well, you're right about Montero. His move has gotten better. Fortunately, part of that is because he's had a lot of practice with a lot of base runners. So after walking only 1 in Colorado in his last start, Montero has already walked 3 in the first 3 innings today. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. As long as it's not 1 step forward and 2 steps back, because that's going in the wrong direction. On the ground to Rosario, and makes the flip for the force play that ends the inning. Montero escapes the third unscathed. 4-0 Texas. Park on a sunny summer afternoon. 40 million visitors last year, but only a few of them on the lawn.
Well, you can't find any grass though Saturday or Sunday. Forget about it.
Well, that's why it's better to be there on a Wednesday. Ahmed Rosario leads off for the Mets in the home third. Rosario hitless in his last 11 bats. Rafael Montero looks like he is done after 3 innings because Seth Lugo has come out on deck to pinch hit for him. Not DeGrom, not Matz. Lugo. It'll be his first crack at pinch hitting. And Rosario quickly down to the count 0-2. Of course, Lugo has a home run to his credit this year. 3 extra base hits. Also a pretty good bunter. In a down year for the Mets pitching staff, they have hit. Rosario hits one out to right. Chu is there. 1 out. So now Lugo will bat for Montero. And Montero's afternoon will end after 87 pitches spread over 3 innings.
It's almost like fratricide, isn't it? When you bat for your fellow starter.
I wonder how many teams can say this. Lugo is the 4th different Mets pitcher to pinch hit this year.
I was just thinking that what's the record for teams pitchers pinch hitting within a season?
Well, I'm sure that there are teams where they've had one great hitting pitcher, like a Madison Bumgarner, who probably had lots of pinch hitting assignments.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of spreading it out like this, I think that would probably be more unusual. You've already had DeGrom, Matz, Wheeler, and now Lugo pinch hit.
Our great statistician Dave Freed. He looks like a bobblehead doll over there.
Oh,
His head is just going up and down.
He has no idea how to research this. So you know what he does? Calls Bob Waterman. Bob will figure it out.
Bob's like Mikey. Give it to Mikey. He'd try anything.
Yeah, the difference is Bob will get the job done.
Yes, you will.
Gallo with an easy play on Conforto, and another quick inning for Martin Perez. Just 7 pitches to get the Mets in order. 4-0 Texas.
That's it. Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
Remarkable indeed, only 25 years after his major league debut with the Mets.
I was looking at all the players there. Mike Stanley was the catcher on that no-hitter, and coming in late was Steve Buechele, who's the bench coach for Jeff Bannister. Josh Smoker in the game for the Mets, his 31st pitch against the Dodgers on Sunday evening.
Gave up that explosive 2-run homer to Cody Bellinger in that game Sunday night. Nomar Mazara leads off the 4th inning for Texas. 4-0 Rangers. And Mazara fouls it away. Mazara had an infield hit, scored a run in the 1st, and then drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. So Montero threw 87 pitches over 3 innings, allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 hit batsmen, a home run, and a walk. It's a full stat line. That's laced into left center, a base hit from Mazara, his 2nd hit of the day. Adrian Beltre coming up. He talked with Steve Gelbs yesterday, and Steve asked him about what the biggest difference is in his 20 years in the big leagues.
City of the pitchers now. Everybody comes for a minor league, they throw high 90s. You know, when I come up, if you see a guy throw mid 90s, it was a big deal. Now everybody throws high 90s, and there's been a lot of adjustment to different pitches. A lot of cutters now. Back then you don't see cutters with just fastballs and curveballs. But you know what? You develop with things, and obviously you get accustomed to how the game is played, and that's what I have done over the years.
How have you had to adjust personally over the years, and to be able to still be this productive at this age and this stage of your career? What's been the most important aspect of that?
I think it's mentally being ready to compete with 24, 26, 27 years old that are their prime, and they're really good, talented ball players. That forced me to to work even harder, physically and mentally, and find a way how to be productive on the field, and find a way how to spend more time on the field, and find a way how to play every day. This game is not easy, and when you put so much talent and on the field, and you compete with the elite of the mid-20 guys, you have to be on your game every day.
Future Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre with the quote of the game presented by Investors Bank, banking in your best interest.
Boy, no better words spoken. As you get older, you've got to use more of your brain capacity, your instincts, your way of playing the game, more than the physical skills that are diminishing at times.
Well, the thing about Beltre is he's in his 20th season, and he's still a very productive player. He looks like he should be able to play a few more years if he wants to.
Yes.
Three and two, nobody out. Mazara at first, and he's picked off. Flores with the throw, and now they got him in a rundown. And Rosario slaps the tag on Mazara for the first out. 1-3-6 on the caught stealing.
They're picked off on a 3-2 count. If you're going to be running on a 3-2 count, you have to let the pitcher throw the ball to the plate before you leave. You have to be sure that the ball is on its way to the plate.
So 1 out and nobody on. A 3-2 count to Beltre, who has struck out and singled today, 1 for 2. And he pops it up foul. That'll come out of play. It was Josh Smoker's first career pickoff. Struck him out with a high fastball. First strikeout for Smoker. 2 out in the inning.
Fastball upstairs. I know the ball's not supposed to be able to rise, but that one sure appeared to.
It's not that it rises, it's that it doesn't sink.
That's right. Gravitational pull. Got enough on it to ride right through that.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Joey Gallo, who had an upper deck shot in the first inning, his 32nd of the year, struck out in the second. So you'll be happy to know that Dave Freed, our statistician, has been hard at work.
Really?
Well, he hasn't gotten the information we asked for. However, he's gotten us some other information, which is interesting.
Okay.
So Rafael Montero in the first 2 innings today threw 74 pitches. We felt as though that was a lot.
Yes.
Last time a Met pitcher threw that many pitches in the first 2 innings, 7 years ago in Arizona, 2010, Mike Pelfrey. 74 pitches in the first 2 innings.
Pelf. Still pitching.
Yes, he is.
Chicago White Sox?
Yeah. Here's a strike. 3-1. Well, now we have the answer to the question we asked. The 1923 Philadelphia Phillies had 7 different pitchers come to bat as pinch hitters. There's ball 4 and Gallo's on. Now I'm assuming this team was really bad, right? I mean, the Phillies for most of their history were not very good. 1923 Phillies have 7 different pitchers pinch hit. Could they pitch? That they were all a bunch of Babe Ruths who could do both.
Well, I mean, the Mets are fortunate that they have so many good athletes. They're starting pitchers. So.
I mean, the guy who presents the biggest threat at the plate has not even had a chance to pinch hit this year, and that would be Syndergaard. The 1923 Phillies, who had the 7 pitchers pinch hit, went 50 and 104. So they could pinch hit. They just didn't pitch very well.
Well, they were down early all the time.
Right. Yeah, typically the team that leads the league in pinch hits usually is the team that has to pinch hit the most.
See, I didn't think it was going to be an older team because they only used 9 and 10 man pitching staffs. So.
In the air along the line, Cespedes a long run to the sidewall, sliding. He can't get it. It's a fair ball, bounces out of play, and they'll have to send Gallo back to third base on the ground rule double for Carlos Gomez. Nice effort by Cespedes, just couldn't quite get it with the slide, and it just landed fair.
Well, it was a big swing by Gomez, but it was off the end of the bat, not hit that hard. So Cespedes with a great attempt to get over there, and with the slide just missed catching that ball that just landed inside the foul line.
Maybe to nitpick, maybe he slid a little too early, but still, you got that sidewall coming up on you so quick.
Better than the alternative.
Yeah. Drew Robinson, and he takes a strike. Well, the Rangers in this inning have had a single, a walk, and a double, but no runs. Robinson has walked and struck out, and he fouls back the fastball from Smoker at 96 miles an hour. Rangers are already 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this game. It's only the 4th inning. Gallo at third. Gomez at second with 2 out. And Robinson fouls it back.
Rivera's going to go out to talk to Smoker. 0-2 pitch. Runners on second and third. Ball caught way too much of the plate. You work really hard as a pitcher to get ahead and count. Use it to your advantage. Make a young hitter try to chase a ball that he can't hit.
That's the situation Montero found himself in the first inning with Gallo. And Robinson lays off the slider. 1-2.
That was a good 0-2 pitch, and I'd repeat it. I mean, this is the game right here for all intents and purposes. You need a strikeout here. You can't have a ball put in play. And what I mean, can't have a ball put in play, even with 2 outs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to take a chance on anything, a dunker, an error, anything. I've got this guy now, though. It's 2-2, a little different, but.
Well, you also have the number 8 hitter on deck, so you can be as aggressive as you need to. And that misses badly, and now it's 3-2. So Smoker's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 against the rookie Drew Robinson. And he gets him looking to retire the side. Second strikeout in the inning. And despite 2 hits and a walk, the Rangers don't score. They've now left 9. The continuing adventures of Pete the Cameraman. It's an ongoing series when we come back. It's Martin Perez. Jose Reyes leads off. Reyes fly to center his first time up. Takes up and away for ball 1. Cespedes on deck, then Bruce as the Mets try and get something going. Had just 1 base runner. Cespedes was hit by a pitch in the first. As was the case yesterday for Texas. Perez pitching a day earlier than expected. Yesterday, A.J. Griffin was moved up to take Andrew Cashner's start, and so Perez moved up a day to take Griffin's start today.
Cashner's masseuse get here?
Well, apparently his private masseuse did not make the trip, and so he was unable to make the start. Change up by Perez, 2-2. Rangers, though, are manipulating their pitching staff. They just sent Nick Martinez, who had been starting for them, to the minors today and brought up a position player, Tyler Smith. So they actually have a 6-man bench today. When's the last time you saw a team have a 6-man bench? Before September.
Might not need it.
3-2. And Reyes takes strike 3 call. Fastball surprised him. And Perez has his second strikeout of the day.
You know, I was shocked when I saw the numbers of Martin Perez before the game today, because I've seen him pitch a half-dozen times, and every time he's been a very good pitcher. Low pitch counts, puts the ball in play. This is more the form of what I've seen from Perez in the past.
But how has the game evolved that Jose Reyes is up with his team down 4-0? It's a 3-2 count, and he's not looking for a fastball.
Well, it's that. Same thing happened in the prior inning. Drew Robinson was up, guys on second and third. He thought the pitch was a fastball out of the strike zone, but that's the time to be the most aggressive. I mean, you'd hate to take strike 3 when you have 2 ducks on the pond.
But
yeah, I know what you're saying about it.
I'm just saying, in Reyes' case, is it a function of the way the game has changed that you would even expect to see anything other than a fastball in that spot?
Well, if you're guessing, then that can happen. I'm gonna base it on that Perez made a perfect pitch inside, and it surprised him. You know.
Cespedes was hit on the foot by a pitch his first time, and he chases a changeup, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Perez to start the fourth.
You know, I know where you're going though, Gary, and I think about it all the time, is that there's so much information out there. Does it kind of creep into your brain that at some point you go, you know, a guy like Perez throws on his 3-2 pitch 74% of the time it's something soft.
But in a 4-0 game,
yeah,
with a non-power hitter at the plate, how would you even think about throwing anything but a fastball?
That's part of the more and more you try to take the game away from the player and tell him how to play the game, the less and less his instincts that he's had ever since he was a 6-year-old will not come into play. And that's you want a delicate balance of that.
Right.
You want your instincts to be a big part of it, with the useful information that you can get, or everyone has ability to digest a certain amount of criteria.
Beltre going back, basket catch, foul territory, side retired. And Martin Perez with some help from Beltre making it look easy. Perez has held the Mets hitless through 4, right off the heel. Cradled that thing. The Mets take on the Marlins at 7:10 p.m. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit Mets.com/tickets. Brett Nicholas takes a strike as we start the 5th inning. Nicholas had an infield hit in the first, grounded out in the third, 1 for 2. Just his 3rd start since being called up when Jonathan Lucroy was dealt to Colorado. 5th inning brought to you by your local Ford dealers. The Ford summer sales event is on. For big savings, go to buyfordnow.com. Josh Smoker in his 2nd inning of relief. And that's topped down to Flores at first. Smoker over to cover. 1 out. It is always harder for a lefty than a righty to get over to cover first base because of the natural tendency to take him toward third. Smoker did a great job of stopping on a dime and sprinting for the bag.
Well, sprinting is the key part, because that's the hustle is the big part of that play. Guys that have done it the best, in my estimation, that are left-handed, have the crossover. So once they follow through, he opened up and got over there with good hustle and beat the runner easily. But I'm saying once they follow through, the guys I've seen that cross over where they're facing the outfield, their left foot crosses over their right and they head to first base. Those are the guys that have done it the best.
Perez strikes out for the 3rd time. I'll go back to thinking about what he's doing in the other part of his game, which he's done well today.
Well, for a lot of these American League pitchers, they spend a lot of time talking about, when I was a kid in high school, I used to hit bombs. And then they get up and they take these at bats and they are at the mercy of their teammates' ridicule.
Didn't an American League pitcher hit a home run this year? Was it Marcus Stroman?
Stroman did, yes. Opposite field in Atlanta, of all places.
Well, almost counts. By the way, speaking of pitching in Atlanta, so Julio Teheran had another rough night at home last night. Slowly hit by Chu. Reyes on the backhand. The quick throw in the dirt, skips by Flores, and Chu is aboard yet again. Wait to see how they score that. It will be an infield hit for Chu, who's now been on base 4 straight times.
Well, there's 2 ways of playing this if you're Reyes. It looked to me like he was trying to play it on one bounce, and it just never touched any leather.
In hockey, they call it fanning on the shot.
That's right.
So 2 out, Chu at first. Here's Elvis Andrus, who's 0 for 3, but stole a run in the 2nd inning. Reached on a fielder's choice, stole 2nd, stole 3rd, came home on a contact play and beat the tag. Here's the effort by Flores to try and snag this one hopper.
See, sometimes, you know, we always talk about the first baseman going out and getting it. Sometimes you can read the hop and stay back and catch it on a big hop. Makes it easier.
Fastball strike to Andrews, and it's 0-2. And he lays off. There are 2 out in the top of the 5th. And Met pitchers have already thrown 122 pitches in this game.
No, there'll be more.
Yes, there will. Guaranteed. Fastball pops outside, 2-2. There's never been a question about Smoker's arm. The reason why he was a first-round draft pick by the Nationals. Anybody who has Smoke on the Water as their walk-up song deserve to succeed. Slowly hit. Rosario comes in to get it, and the force play ends the inning. So 2 scoreless innings for Josh Smoker in relief. Halfway through, 4-0 Texas. They've had just 1 base runner over the first 4 innings against Martin Perez. Rafael Montero lasted just 3 innings and 87 pitches today. Wilmer Flores leads off in the home 5th. Wilmer fly to center his first time up. Walker and Rivera to follow against Martin Perez, who had given up the 3rd most hits of any pitcher in the American League coming in. Flores flies one to deep left. Mazzara looks up, and it's out of here. Or is it off the wall? It is off the wall, and Flores pulls on at second base. That ball must have just hit the top of the fence.
It did, the very, very top of the fence. And to tell you how home runs are being hit this year, this is the pitch first. Watch where he gets this, kind of off the end. So the sound to me was that the ball was going to stay in the ballpark.
Well, the umpires are going to get together and talk about this one. I think that's out.
Yeah,
I think
you're
that's
right.
off the M&M sign.
You're right. It hit off that blue part of the M&M sign just over the wall. Hit the orange M&M.
So it is a home run for Flores. The umpires will go to replay review. It's a crew chief review. Wilmer knew he got it. It'll be his 13th home run of the year, and it'll be the first Mets hit of the game. But first we have to get the confirmation from the folks in Chelsea, and that should come quickly.
You don't really even have to look at it. It's Wilmer against the lefty.
And it is indeed a home run. So now Wilmer can complete the tour of the bases, his 13th home run, the Mets' first hit of the day, and it's now 4-1 Texas. So Perez, after 4 hitless innings, finally gives up a safety, and it's a long ball to Flores. 13th home run for Flores, his 6th against the left-hand pitcher. And now Neil Walker, and he grounds one to short. Andrews comes in to get it, and that's the first out. That Mets home run means $2,000, enough for No Kid Hungry to provide 20,000 meals courtesy of City.
So Gary, you were talking about the pitchers from the 1923 Phillies, that 7 different pitchers pinch hit. So I was looking at their starting pitchers, just to figure out the names of those guys that year. Jimmy Ring from Queens, New York. Charles Franklin Whitey Glazner.
Barrel-less one to right, and Chu is there.
Philip Walker, lefty wiener. Charles Frederick Petey Bahan. But there was one name that I picked out, one of the starters, that I was like, I think I know that name. It was Clarence Mitchell. You know what that is?
I do not.
In the 1920 World Series, the Brooklyn Dodgers lost to the Cleveland Indians. He is the batter that hit the ball for the unassisted triple play.
Bill Wambsgans.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He's the one that hit it.
So,
a line drive to second base.
So a pitcher
hit it.
Now that would mean, I'm assuming that the reason Bill Wambsgans was able to pull off that triple play is because the runners were in motion.
Exactly. So you're thinking maybe.
So the runners are in motion with a pitcher up?
3-2.
But with nobody out.
That's right. That's right. Maybe some people got caught sleeping. But anyways, the unassisted triple play was just he tagged all of the 2 runners. And
well, it was like the one that Eric Brundtland pulled against Jeff Francoeur here
right.
to end the game. Is that 2010?
That's right, 2010. Wow. Been at this job a long time.
Some would say far too long.
Well, at times I'm in agreement with him.
Doing to the Rosario, who flied out to right his first time up. Ahmed is now 4 for 26 to begin his major league career. Hansel Robles up in the Mets bullpen.
I didn't know this, but Mitchell was one of the last legal spitballers.
The spitball was outlawed in 1920, but they grandfathered in all the pitchers who had used the spitball. And Rosario goes down on the slider. 4th strikeout for Perez. Mets get on the board in the 5th inning on the Wilmer Flores home run. After 5, 4-1 Texas. On 2 innings, 37 pitches, no runs allowed despite plenty of traffic. And he gets the first pitch slider in for a strike to Mazzara. Mazzara's 2 for 3 today. He's scored a run. He's driven in a run. Smoker picked him off after his base hit in the 4th inning. And Mazzara swings over that slider, and it's 0-2.
Nomar Mazzara, I was wondering, I know Nomar Garciaparra was named Nomar because it's Ramon backwards, but I'm wondering if Nomar Mazzara is named after Nomar Garciaparra.
I think there's every chance.
Right.
Gabriel Beltre on deck, then Joey Gallo, who I don't believe is related to Ernest or Julio.
Gallows have wine in a box at some point. I think they did.
Might as well be. Here's the 0-2. And it's hit back off the glove of Smoker. He knocks it down, rolls after it, but can't make the play. That was quite an effort by Smoker. Not quite tall enough to snag it with the initial grab, but knocked it in the right general direction. And then the scramble was on.
Well, he had more time than he thought. He could have stayed on his feet and kind of tossed it over there, but I think he stumbled. I think he lost his footing.
Yeah, but it was not anything in the neighborhood of Chad Qualls.
Oh boy, Chad Qualls. John Smoltz has one where he's rolling around at first base also and didn't come up with the play.
I think Smoker took out a divot. They're going to need the grounds crew to fix this. I mean, we saw earlier this year Cespedes with the divot in left field that the players were initially able to repair, but this is on the infield, and the umpires, I think, are concerned that the grass may require a professional.
You know, do you think that this is one of the repercussions of the field draining so well, is that there's more sand underneath the grass, so they're able to, the grass detaches and leaves that kind of divot more often than not?
I wish I had more herbicultural expertise to be able to answer that question.
We need a UC Davis grad.
We just need a green thumb. It appears as though they're going to play on with the divot partially detached. So I assume that's an infield hit from Mazzara, but quite an effort by Smoker to try and track that ball down with the belly flop. Here's Adrian Beltre, and he goes after the high fastball, 0-1. So it looks like Smoker might be asked to try and finish a third inning of relief. He's done that before this year. Beltre has 1 for 3 today at a base hit in the second inning. So Mazzara now has a 3-hit day, and 2 of his hits have been off the pitcher. 1 off Montero's knee, and now 1 off Smoker's glove. Living right. That's a lot of hits. I think Nick Markakis is the surprising name on that list. People don't think about how good he was in Baltimore and how consistent he's been.
Just past 2,000, right? Just be interesting that the superstars of the game today, will they play 19 or 20 years?
Why not? Lined into right center. Beltre's got his second hit of the day. Mazzara will go first to third. Nice play by Conforto to get it in. And the Rangers have runners at the corners with nobody out. So with that, Beltre now has 3,008 hits and passes Al Kaline on the all-time list.
That's right. They were tied. The great Al Kaline. Well, now the great Adrian Beltre. Fastball up and away. He's been swinging through the fastball up. This one not as high as the other ones, though, and he was able to get the top hand on that one.
Here's Joey Gallo, who had a 2-run homer back in the first inning, has also struck out and walked. So I have relevant information about the naming of Nomar Mazzara.
Okay.
Nomar Mazzara was born a year and a half before Nomar Garciaparra made his major league debut.
Okay.
So unless there was a close familial connection, there would have been no way that his parents could have named him after Nomar Garciaparra. However, here's another piece of information. Nomar Mazzara is the first Nomar ever in the major leagues, because Nomar Garciaparra's actual first name is Anthony.
Wow.
It's Anthony Nomar Garciaparra. Now that's some quality information right there. I think Dave Freed can go home now. He has done his job for the day. By the way, did you see who pitched for the Atlanta Braves last night?
I did not. I know Tehran started.
Max Fried made his major league debut, and Dave is beaming today about the fact that there has been a Fried participate in the major league. However, Max Fried did not prevent the Braves from losing to the Phillies again. The Phillies have won 41 games this year. They're 10-2 against the Braves. 3-1 to Gallo, and there's a strike. Gallo tossing the bat away, and that won't win him any points with Mark Ripperger. 3-2.
He did it the right way, though. He picked it up and just got back in the box. Nothing said.
Three and two, nobody out, and Gallo fouls it back. Well, Gallo's had his 3 true outcomes today: home run, strikeout, walk. Said it last night. Coming into the series, 59% of his plate appearances have resulted either in home run, strikeout, or walk. An unprecedented pace. No fielders necessary. Eddie Feigner could pitch to him.
That's right.
And he'd probably strike him out.
Without the court.
That's exactly right. And now he has his walk. That loads the bases with nobody out. Second walk given up by Smoker. They've both gone to Gallo. And Terry Collins coming out to make a double switch. First, let's check in with Jonas Schwartz for a game break brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. All right, Jonas. Josh Smoker goes 2 innings plus in relief, but gives up a couple of hits and a walk here in the 6th, so he is out. Hansel Robles is in. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. Willie Colon and Jets players discuss all the latest news straight from Florham Park on the Jetstream podcast, only on SNY.TV, your online home for all things New York sports. That's the new battery in the game. Travis d'Arnaud comes in to catch. He'll bat 9th. And Hansel Robles inherits a bases loaded mess.
Well, he had some tough pitching on the road, but his last appearance was a few days ago against LA. An inning of work. Perfect. 1, 2, 3.
Carlos Gomez bats with the bases loaded and nobody out. And Carlos goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. Gomez has been on base 3 times in a row. Twice was hit by a pitch by Rafael Montero, and then he dumped a ground rule double down the left field line in the 4th against Smoker. Lazara at 3rd, Beltre at 2nd, Gallo at 1st, and Gomez with a chance to add to the Rangers' 4-1 lead against Robles. He pops one up into shallow center, not very deep. Good 4-0 under it. Mazara is going to stay put, and that's the first out of the inning. So Robles gets 1, and now he'll face Drew Robinson, who has walked and then struck out twice. Struck out with 2 in scoring position to end the 4th. The Rangers have a 4-1 lead, but they've had a lot more chances than that. They've already left 10 runners on base through the first 5 innings.
I'll give it to you.
And Robinson swings through a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Hansel Robles, such a puzzlement. Be as good an arm as the Mets have in their bullpen this season. Moments of domination and moments of utter futility have punctuated his season.
Well, when he first came up, remember, he was a 1-pitch pitcher. He just threw as hard as he could. Then he developed a pretty good breaking pitch, then a changeup. But I think this year, you know, he lost that command of his fastball. Just was hitting the middle of the plate too often. So became a jack of all trades, master of none of his pitches.
And then in Colorado the other day, seeming to lose the feel for the ball as he threw a bases loaded ball 4 to the backstop. That resulted in one of the strangest walk-off reactions I've ever seen. Rockies didn't know what to do.
That's right.
Ball's at the backstop. Wait a second. Oh, the game's over. Good fastball by Robinson, 2-2. You know what it reminded me of? The end of the 1999 season, last regularly scheduled game Mets needed to win to either get in the postseason or force a 1-game playoff. And they were tied in the bottom of the 9th. And Brad Klontz came into relief for the Pirates. First pitch he threw onto the backstop screen, and the winning run scored with Mike Piazza at the plate. And Mike did not know what to do. Melvin Morris scores the winning run from third base, and if you see pictures of that celebration, Mike is still standing there with the bat in his hands.
Because he was locked in.
Not joining the celebration because, wait a second, I'm supposed to drive in the run. But he didn't get a chance to. That's what that reminded me. Two and two to Robinson. And the changeup of the fastball sits high, and it's 3-2.
The strangest one I ever saw was in the postseason. Cardinals Phillies. Last out in the game was Ryan Howard, who tore his Achilles. So the St. Louis Cardinals are celebrating on the field while Howard writhed in agony.
Crumpled along the first baseline. 3-2 with the bases loaded, and that forces in a run. So another bases loaded walk issued by Robles. This one at least found the catcher's glove. Nonetheless, it's 5-1 Texas. And that is 6 walks for Met pitchers in less than 6 innings today.
That's been one of the themes that we have not seen here in the last 3-4 years. Mets pitching has always been very good at eliminating the walks.
It's really been the most startling piece about their pitching failures this year. Brett Nicholas is 1 for 3, and that one sails well out of the strike zone. And Robles back in that mode again, where he's just not commanding the fastball at all.
Darno barely got to that one. Whenever a pitcher is struggling with one pitch like that, you have to try something different. Changeup, slider, something. Then you go back to the fastball.
Brett Nicholas, the batter, 1 for 3 today. An infield hit back in the first. Fouls back the fastball, 1-1. I don't know what he was swinging at either round. You got a pitcher who just can't throw a strike, and you're helping him out.
Yeah.
Up into the arm side from Robles.
It's a very easy fix. It's the front side that has to stay closed, but easy to think about it. Sometimes hard to execute with the bases loaded. So Nicholas could have had a walk and RBI on 4 pitches. Instead, he's 2-2.
'29-year-old rookie. It's taken him a while to get here, and he wants to cash in while he's here.
Yeah, got a chance to get something special.
2-2 coming, and he struck him out. So Robles fans Nicholas without ever throwing a pitch in the strike zone.
Counters now with the slider down and in, and futile hack there by Nicholas.
So 2 out, and now the pitcher Martin Perez. And while a regular hitter might chafe at the idea of a golden sombrero, a starting pitcher who can strike out 4 times in a game, he's had a good day. And that's what Perez has a chance to do here. Or something else.
I would order him not to swing at a pitch until he gets a strike. There you go.
Perez now 1 for 16 in his major league career, looking for his first big league RBI. And he slashes one into the netting foul, and it's 0-2. Let's take a look at the road ahead, presented by Buick. 4-game series in Philadelphia starts tomorrow night. Keith will be on hand for those. How's he getting there?
That's a long story.
Then 4 with the Yankees next week. First 2 in the Bronx, then 2 here at Citi Field. Then the Marlins and the Diamondbacks come in on that next homestand. And Perez takes outside 1-2. And Perez has his golden sombrero. Now he can go back to work on the mound. Rangers tack on a run. They've now left 13 on base in the first 6 innings. That's hard to do. They're up 5-1. Pete has been a full participant this year. We've seen him in the dunk tank. We've seen him all over the ballpark in the car race. Today it's the stolen base challenge, trying to break a record. 17.8 is the time to beat. Usually it's the kids who run this, but Pete, who we know can surf, apparently can also run, because he beats the record 0.2 of a second and almost runs over the folks carrying the banner. Pete should be very proud. And the good thing about this is, unlike when we put him in the car race, he didn't have to cheat.
That's right.
And so Pete Stendel is atop the stolen base challenge leaderboard. Of course, all the other participants were 10 years old or under.
Very nice, Pete.
Travis d'Arnaud batting for the first time. Swings at the first pitch he sees and pops it up. Drew Robinson stays with it. 1 pitch and 1 out for Martin Perez as he keeps on rolling into the 6th. Took him just 54 pitches to get through 5. He's given up only 1 hit. That was a home run to Wilmer Flores in the 5th. And yet the Mets still within range in this game when you consider how dreadful the Rangers bullpen has been this year.
And the Rangers offense to take advantage of all the runners they've had on base.
I mean, 13 left on base for Texas in the first 6 innings. They left the bases loaded 3 times. The major league record for most left on base in a 9-inning game is 20. The National League record for a 9-inning game is 18, which is well within range. Of course, this is an interleague game, so which record counts? It's in the National League Park, but it's an American League team that's doing it. It's all very confusing.
It is very confusing. Don't get it. Stop interleague play just for that reason alone, right there.
You have my vote. Keep the rivalry games and scrap the rest.
Keith wouldn't have to bring suits to Philadelphia. It'd be all kinds of stuff.
I still want to know how he's getting there. Taking the train,
well,
flying from Islip.
He's having a little help with friends, but there's been a couple of snags thrown in there because they couldn't agree on what day they were going to leave.
Conforto strikes out for the 2nd time today. That's 5 for Perez, and there are 2 out. Well, there are 4 games coming up between the Mets and the Phillies starting tomorrow night. Jacob deGrom opens the series tomorrow night at Citizens Bank Park. Our coverage begins at 6 on SNY, and Steve Gelbs has much more about the fight in Phil.
Well, Gary, obviously for the Phillies this year, it's all about the future and developing and understanding what they have for that future. Aaron Nola, the 7th overall pick for them in 2014, as Reyes lines a single here into left field. Aaron Nola has started to become the guy that they thought they were drafting in 2014. Last 9 starts has been one of the best pitchers in the major leagues, a 1.76 ERA. That after his first 9 starts of the season had an ERA 3 full runs higher. For Nola starting to strike batters out, 7 or more batters struck out in 8 of those 9 starts. He's changed his mechanics a little bit, more in his legs. Fastball has some more giddy up, but a big key for him has been the real development of the changeup as his 3rd pitch. We'll see Aaron Nola on Saturday.
It'll be in game 3 of that series. Saw the Phillies unveil Nick Williams, one of their young outfielders, and he's played very well since then. He's hitting .297 coming into today. Here's Cespedes with 2 out and a runner at first. Off the end of the bat foul. Your city probables: DeGrom and Velasquez tomorrow night. Lugo and Pivetta, who pitched a great game against the Mets last time they saw him on Friday. Matz and Nola Saturday, and then Flexen coming off his first big league win against Zach Eflin, who pitched great last night against the Braves after being recalled. Hit out to right field. Chu is right there waiting, and that retires the side. Perez works around a 2-out hit. He's allowed just 2 hits through 6. Slow motion, super slow motion, but you can't slow down Pete, the camera guy.
Literally taking candy from babies.
Went the distance last night, and so far so good for Trevor Bauer today. Here it's 5-1 Texas as they come to bat in the 7th. Shin-Soo Choo's already been on base 4 times, 2 walks, a single, and a double. Now facing Hansel Robles, who got 3 outs in the 6th, but also issued a bases loaded walk, and he sails that first off-speed pitch up and away for ball 1. So got to thinking between innings, because Martin Perez has thrown only 63 pitches through 6 innings. There's a good chance he's going to go a lot deeper into this game. And Martin Perez has already struck out 4 times in this game. What if he comes to bat again and strikes out again? When's the last time a pitcher struck out 5 times in a game?
Come on, Dave, let's go.
Now, what I do know the last time a pitcher had 5 hits in a game.
Yeah, I knew him very well.
And it's more than a half a century ago now.
It is. That's 60s.
64, I think it was. Mel Stottlemyre, I think it was his rookie season with the Yankees, which would have been 64, had 5 hits in a game. He's the last pitcher to do it.
Mel,
I mean, before the DH we're talking about that long ago.
Mel could do anything.
Once saw Steve Avery have 4 hits in a game.
I did too. Close up and personal.
You didn't give up all of them, did you?
I don't know. I think I did.
Well, that's good. It means you stuck around.
Well, I took a beating. I think I did give up all 4.
Once a game, who knows?
I think I gave up all 4 because it wouldn't make any sense if I didn't give up all 4. It wouldn't hurt as bad. I've given up 3 hits to a pitcher.
Two and 2 to Chu with Elvis Andrus on deck. And he struck him out. First time Chu's been retired today. 3 strikeouts in a row for Hansel Robles. Here's today's Verizon trivia question. Who are the 5 players to hit 100 or more home runs with 3 different franchises?
I mean, the first person that came to the top of my head was Reggie.
Oakland, Yankees, and Angels. Was he around
Yeah.
Anaheim long enough to hit 100?
I think so.
1-1 to Andrews.
You know, most of the older players that hit tons and tons of home runs hit it for 1 franchise.
I mean, Frank Robinson did it for 2. I don't think he did it for 3.
Kingman?
Kingman, that's a good one. Right? Cubs, Mets, Giants.
Yeah.
A-Rod.
Oh.
Fly ball out to right center. And Bruce has got it 2 out.
I like that one a lot.
A-Rod for sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Seattle, Texas, and the Yankees.
By the way, Dave Freed, our statistician, came up with today's trivia question. I know his mom, Sandra, has not been feeling great. And if you're part of our family, all your families are part of our family. So our best to her.
Our best indeed. Here's Nomar Mazara, who's 3 for 4 today. He scored 2 and driven in 1. Oh,
You got an obvious one.
yeah. He's
Okay.
standing on deck. Right? Dodgers, Mariners, Rangers.
That's right.
Right? Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, good trivia question.
It is, and there's the linchpin. See, Dave's very good at the linchpin of the question. The guy who's participating in the game today.
457 does he have?
456.
456.
Still got another at bat coming.
Yeah, the way things have been going, right?
And Mazzara takes it low, 2-1.
That's a good slider there by Robles. I thought that was a strike 2. Hansel.
Well, after the bases loaded walk in the last inning, Robles has responded by retiring the next 4. And now 2-2 to Mazzara. The inside corner, got him looking. 4 strikeouts for Hansel Robles, and he has a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Stretch time, 5-1 Texas. TV, your home for live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. Here's your Mets box score. Not much going on there. Wilmer Flores homered in the 5th. Jose Reyes had a 2-out single in the 6th, and that's been it against Martin Perez, who has been right on top of this one after 4 straight losses. Jay Bruce has been up twice, popped up both times, and he is 0 for his last 15. Perez was an odd addition to the disabled list about a month and a half ago. He was in his hotel room and he got his hand caught in the door jamb. It was not his pitching hand, it was his right hand, and he suffered a fracture of the tip of his right thumb and a laceration and had to go on the disabled list as a result. Fortunately, it wasn't his throwing hand, otherwise it would have been far worse. But it kept him out for a week, about 10 days, and it's really since that injury that he's been struggling so badly. But certainly has been terrific so far today. Flores on deck, Neil Walker behind him in the bottom of the 7th. Perez has never gone more than 7 innings this year, but his pitch count is so low, perhaps today is a day for him to go deeper. However, the Rangers have the bullpen up. Matt Bush, who has been the closer for Texas, is getting up in the 7th inning. Bruce just got a piece of it. So we've got information about pitchers' strikeouts. We don't know yet the last pitcher to strike out 5 times in a game, but what we do know is that earlier this season, Joe Ross of the Nationals struck out 4 times against the Mets.
That's right.
And the Mets lost that game. And that's not surprising, as Bruce fouls one away, because in their history there have been 14 instances where a pitcher has struck out 4 times against the Mets, and the Mets have lost every one of those games. Right? Because anytime a pitcher gets 4 at bats, he's having a good day. No pitcher has ever struck out 5 times against the Mets. And Bruce breaks his bat as he rolls one out to Robinson, and that's the first out.
I had to look over my notes to make sure what I said was right in the open, that Perez has given up 23 runs in his last 22 innings pitched coming into today's game. Just completely turned it around here this afternoon, except for Wilmer.
Flores hit one that just cleared the left field fence, initially ruled in play, but then on review was ruled to be a home run, his 13th of the year, and that was the first Met hit. It came leading off the 5th inning. Pops this one up into shallow right, and Chu, looking through the sunglasses, side saddles in and stays with it. Tough sun, 2 out.
Well, he got lost in a place where most tried to use his glove. That didn't work. So then he tried to side saddle, as Gary said, And just at that time, when you're an outfielder, you're just trying to stay with it as long as you can.
It's a great shot of the sun glinting off the lenses of his sunglasses. Citi Field is turned so that the sun sets behind the third base stand, so right field is always the sun field here. There's Neil Walker taking ball one.
A lot of times when you're out there on that kind of ball, and listen, I never played the outfield in the major leagues, but certainly in college or whatever, is that sometimes you will just see the ball every second or so because it'll go in and out of that sunlight. So you're trying to position your glove where the ball, every time you see it, where it's at. So like you're picking up the dots where the ball is going and just keeping your glove where you think it's going to come down.
So it's like following a perforated line.
There you go.
Dotted line on the highway. It's easier to follow a solid line.
That's what I've heard, especially later at night.
2-1 to Walker, who's grounded out twice today. Punches one foul, 2-2.
So Martin Perez is at 75 pitches, so he just passed what it took Rafael Montero to get through 2 innings of work. Shows you how low his pitch count is.
Pitcher spot due up next. Brandon Nimmo would pinch hit if Walker keeps the inning going. But he breaks his bat and grounds one down to Beltre. 2 broken bats in the inning and a 1-2-3 from Martin Perez. What a performance. 5-1 after 7. Plateau. Some great images from some of the fields down in the Dominican Republic where the youngsters learn the game. The AF Baseball Academy. I wonder what that is.
I know, no.
It is the national sport of the Dominican Republic, nation of about 10.5 million that has produced hundreds of major leaguers. Beltre today with 2 hits. He's 2 for 4. Hansel Robles will start his 3rd inning of relief and gets it over for a strike.
Happy feet there by Beltre. Interesting, a lot of the hitters for the young hitters anyways for the Texas Rangers have real open stances. The older player, very closed stance.
You just don't see closed stances like this very much anymore. This used to be the norm back in the 70s and 80s.
Watch his feet. Get a little happy feet there on that breaking ball that was inside. And the last pitch, he did a little bit of the Michael Jackson, get on the toes.
Can he moonwalk?
We'll see.
Robles wanted that call, didn't get it. 3-1.
And the other thing we haven't talked about in this series, no one enjoys playing the game more than Beltre. Such a good attitude about, you know, that line between being real serious but also enjoying that you get to play a kid's game for a living.
Think about Miguel Cabrera. Same thing, right?
Yes.
Loves joking around on the field, but very serious about his profession. Hot shot to Walker. First chance he's had to handle down there at third base, and he handled it nicely. 1 out. To answer our Verizon trivia question, 5 players with 100 or more home runs for 3 different franchises. Well, we tried. We got Beltre, we got Reggie, Jim Thome, Darrell Evans.
Wow.
That's so Evans, what? Braves,
San Francisco,
Tigers.
Yeah.
Of course, Darrell Evans was part of that first team ever to have 3 players hit 40 or more in the same season.
That's right.
Right. It was Henry Aaron, Davey Johnson, and Darrell Evans with the Braves.
Darrell Evans is the only guy I've ever seen take batting practice in Tiger Stadium and continue to hit ball after ball foul for a home run. And when asked about it, he said, well, when the game starts, guys throw harder. Ball will be fair.
Worked for him.
It did.
He hit over 400.
He used to stand right on that dish and just try to turn. That's 2 Tigers references. K-line because Beltre passed him today. Darrell Evans.
You know, when I think of Tiger Stadium, first person I think of is Reggie Jackson.
That's right. Light tower power.
The home run he hit off the transformer in the All-Star game. Who was that against? Was that?
I'll tell you exactly. He was the Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher who said he pitched on LSD.
Oh, and Doc Ellis.
There we go.
3-1.
Poor. I'm sorry about that, parents. I guess you'll have to explain to a young kid watching.
And Gallo was on base again. A home run and 3 walks today for Gallo. 5 of the 3 true outcomes. Home run, strikeout, 3 walks. I mean, the fielders might as well go to sleep when Joey Gallo comes up. Second walk given up by Robles. 7 today for Mets pitching. And here is Carlos Gomez, who's been hit twice and doubled, 1 for 2 on the day. All-star home runs that I remember, the pitchers. Bo Jackson against Rick Rush.
That's right. Lead off the game.
And Fred Lynn with the grand slam off Atlee Hammaker.
That's right. The only one, right, to this day?
Is it
grand
still
slam?
the only
I think
one?
so.
I know it was the first. And that one ties up d'Arnaud, and down to second base goes Gallo. Where'd that ball hit, Travis?
Well, he goes down. Does it catch him in the hand or the? Yes.
Oh, got his pinky.
Hand, inside of his leg.
Remember that d'Arnaud came in a double switch, so the Mets have already used both their catchers today. So maybe Neil Walker might get to play another position if something were to happen to Travis. Oh, he just played first and third in the last few days that he hadn't done in years.
It's making like Chris Woodward.
Or Cesar Tovar. Nobody does that anymore, do they?
No.
I mean, and that one runs up and in, and Gomez has to bail. 1-1. It came off his bat, a foul ball.
You mean play every position?
Play every position. I mean, it used to be a quirky thing. I think Bert Campaneris did it. Yeah. Cesar Tovar did it. But you'd think with all the versatile players that we have now in the game, you know, with the accent on versatility, that late in the season somebody would try it.
Yeah, you know, one of the last games or weekend of the season, try to play all 9 if your team's out, you know, certainly out of it.
One to Gomez. And he golfs one down the first baseline. Flores back. And Wilmer makes a nice play. Gallo's going to try for third. Wilmer's throw is offline, and Gallo arrives safely. Good base running by Joey Gallo to take the extra base. Good play by Flores to get to the pop-up. And that's the second out.
Well, we saw how the sun is difficult, but Wilmer wasn't ready to throw that ball to third base. Didn't anticipate at all that Gallo might be tagging. Concerned with the catch, wasn't concerned with the runner. Gallo knew right away. Once he saw that it was foul, he wasn't going to go unless he saw that Flores was not paying attention. Once he saw that Flores was not paying attention, he took the extra base.
So he's the third with 2 out. Now Drew Robinson, who drew a bases loaded walk his last time up. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Robinson today. Another guy the fielders can go to sleep on.
He just stepped out because the plane was passing over.
Obviously a big Keith Hernandez fan.
That's right.
There was a time on the other side of the parking lot when that happened every couple of minutes.
And I know for me, and maybe it's just how my brain works, never heard it. Not once. Like on the mound. Like never ever. I mean, I heard the planes, but I never ever affected where you go, I'm not going to throw a pitch until it passes.
What do you think about, I think it was Rusty Staub's theory that he'd rather hit with the planes going over because the fielders might not be able to pick up the crack of the bat.
That's right.
It might affect their ability to field a ball.
Anything Rusty says is gospel to me, so I'm all in.
So that never crossed your mind as a pitcher to not throw a pitch, because it might put your fielders in jeopardy of not getting a good jump.
There's a rhythm to pitching, you know, and to stop that rhythm because of planes, especially in those days. I mean, it just seemed, you know, I don't know this, but it seems like there's less planes in the air. The planes are completely packed. Every plane I'm on anyway. And you'd have to stop all the time.
5 strikeouts in relief for Robles, his first 3-inning outing of the year. Still 5-1. About the first pitch in the Mets' first pitch sweepstakes presented by SNY and Papa John's. Go to sny.tv/Papa John's and enter today. Well, for the first time since 2015, Martin Perez will throw a pitch in the 8th inning. Brandon Nimmo will lead off for the Mets, pinch hitting for the pitcher Robles, who went 3 innings in relief. And Nimmo takes a strike. Brandon's last plate appearance came Sunday night. He drew a walk as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. He has done a tremendous job coming off the bench. Pops this one up on the right side, though, and Robinson is there to grab it. And now Perez has an out in the 8th inning. He's only thrown 79 pitches. No telling how far he might go. He's thrown as many as 113 in a game this year, but had never gone more than 7 innings since 2015. Jason Bradford getting ready to pitch at the top of the 9th.
When we had Randy Jones in San Diego, folks, this is the kind of game he would pitch.
He was talking about a game he threw where he threw a complete game with 68 pitches.
Well, you know what's interesting to me is that we always get notes on swing and miss, right? That's supposed to indicate a guy's stuff, how good his stuff is, swing and miss. I'm more interested in swing and miss for guys on 3rd and less than 2 outs, personally. But swing and miss is a big stat. But because of the way the game's played, it'd be interesting to monitor maybe swing and contact within the first 3 pitches, and how many of those pitches that are made contact and put into play are outs. That'd be an interesting way to look at pitchers also.
Well, and in connection with that, we talk about exit velocity for home runs and hard hit balls, but what about exit velocity for softly hit balls and the pitchers that are able to generate those?
Like Kyle Hendricks' year last year, when he was able to generate so much soft contact. I think that all that stuff is in the works. It has to be. If we're thinking about it, they're got to be ahead of our curve.
Rosario lines a base into center field. That snaps an 0 for 13 for Ahmed. It's just the Mets' 3rd hit of the day.
Little slider down and in. And a hit much needed for Rosario.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how far Jeff Bannister goes with his left-hander, who's kind of in uncharted territory right now. Darno up for the 2nd time, came on a double switch in the 6th, popped up, and it's only at bat. Rangers have their bullpen cranking behind Perez. And Darno takes a fastball for a strike. Matt Bush, the right-hander. And Alex Claudio, the left-hander. Coming up tonight at 10:30, it's Geico Sports Night. Jets, Giants, golf.
Quail Hollow, Gary, North Carolina.
Really appreciate that. You got the dog leg left.
A tough uphill par 4 to end it.
1-2 to Darno. I love when you talk golf.
Someday you'll use it. Someday you're going to be sitting in one of those cocktail parties that you don't like to go to, and someone will talk golf and you'll say, yeah, I remember that Quail Hollow as that uphill par 4.
You know what I'm more likely to do?
What?
Find another conversation.
There you go. Let's just walk away.
One-two coming, and Darno fouls it away.
Boy, he's jammed a lot of the Mets hitters, hasn't he?
He's broken his share of bats today. Darno checking to make sure that's not another one. Michael Conforto waiting on deck. And Darno hits a double play ball. Robinson right on the bag. 4-4-3 double play. Side retire. Martin Perez through 8. Working on a 3-hitter. Weak ground ball for the 4-4-3. That's some low exit velocity right there. On to the 9th we go. 5-1 Texas. You know what that montage of today's action proves?
What?
We have fantastic cameramen.
We do. We do.
Camera people, I should say.
They're the best people in the business.
I mean,
they are.
On a day that has not produced a ton of action, they managed to give us incredible images.
We see it when we go on the road, and there's some talented people on the road, but none like our crew here in New York. They just don't miss a thing.
Jason Bradford pitching the top of the 9th for New York.
Well, you put the fear of God in them, and they still got PTSD, so they are attention to detail.
Bradford's been really good his last couple of outings. Gave up a run in 2 2/3 against the Dodgers his last time. Had a great outing in Colorado in the Mets' comeback victory there, where he went 2 perfect innings. So Bradford's starting to establish himself at the big league level. Now the pitcher's spot is due up next, and we were hoping Martin Perez could get another turn at bat and go for the platinum sombrero, 5 strikeouts. But it's not going to be. Perez has thrown 89 pitches over 8 innings. Rougned Odor has come out on deck to bat for him. So Dave Fried has discovered the last time that a pitcher struck out 5 times in a game, which is apparently still going to be the last time. 2008, 9 years ago, Ted Lilly struck out 5 times for the Cubs in San Francisco. He won the game 9-2. See, it's got to be a game like that,
yeah.
right? You got to have a lot of runs, so you get that 5th time around the batting order. Or in the Rangers case today, leave 14 guys on base. Only caveat is there's nobody throwing in the Texas bullpen, so maybe Perez has a chance to bat.
Well, they had a guy up who was loose already, so
Right.
probably we'll get back up with 1 or 2 outs.
Driven to right by Nicholas. Bruce comes over to get it. 1 out. And it will be Odor to bat for Perez. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Visit odfl.com for more information.
So Ted Lilly in 15 years had 347 at bats, 35 hits, 1 extra base hit, a triple. Oh, sorry, 7 extra base hits, 6 doubles and a triple. Batted 101. Kept it north.
Is it possible he hit that triple against the Mets? Because somehow that sticks in my mind.
Might.
Odor started last night, went 0 for 3. It's been a real struggle for Rougned Odor in his 4th big league season, just 23 years old. But hitting just .216 this year. Still a lot of power, 24 home runs this season and 33 a year ago. But last year he hit .271. And he drills that one down the right field line, foul. Odor last night got hit by a foul ball on the top of his left foot, and it clearly pained him a little bit. But Jeff Bannister said before that game that's not why he sat him today, that it was just a day off for him.
I think he was hit in the foot, right, by Flexen?
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
Because Flexen hit a couple of hitters.
Hurts the same.
It does.
So it looks like Alex Claudio is going to get the 9th inning for the Rangers, with the Mets due to send up Conforto to lead off. So Ted Lilly's triple was not against the Mets, it was in Houston.
Okay.
Wonder if it rolled up the hill.
You're just having a Matt Albers flashback.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm thinking of Al Leiter. You had to be there to see it.
No way.
Al legging out a triple. Hit it to the gap in left center, and it just rolled for days. As they were playing, you know, Little League depth. Got him with a high fastball. Bradford has a strikeout. And it's 14 strikeouts for Met pitchers today. Rangers strike out a lot.
Again, showing how overrated that stat can be.
Well, 7 walks to go with the 14 strikeouts. So a lot of true outcomes today. Not necessarily entertaining outcomes, but true. Here's Shin-Soo Choo, who has had a true day. True Choo. On base 4 times out of 5. Single, a double, and 2 walks. In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have the top of the batting order. Conforto, Reyes, and Cespedes coming up. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. One from Bradford. And Chu takes the changeup off the plate. 2-1. Elvis Andrus would be next. Chu fouls back the fastball. 2-2.
So best group platinum, the number 9 hole today.
That's true. 5 strikeouts out of the 9 hole. It's like a combined no-hitter.
That's right.
Combined no contact. Just missed inside, full count.
Chu has got to be one of those hitters that ranks high percentage of at-bats with a full count.
Pitches per plate appearance. Speaking of pitches per plate appearance, is Jason Worth ever going to play again?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
he got a toe or
a
something?
toe injury. He's been out for 3 months now. He's always up among the league leaders in pitches per plate appearance.
Yeah, four and change, right? 4.5.
Inside, ball 4, and Chu is on yet again. He's reached base 5 times today. 3rd time he's walked. The 8th walk for the Mets pitching staff. Coming up after we're done here, it's WB Mason post game live. Let's get a preview. Gary Apple, Nelson Figueroa. All right, and I wanted to ask the guys. We don't have an ability to have a conversation. I wanted to ask them about the homemade ketchup.
Yeah, they had a little back and forth thing on the couch today, right?
They were going on about the Steve Gelb's homemade ketchup. They're on the pregame show today. Need to know more.
Yes. Well, it's been a strange year. You know, we talked about this Texas team last year, won 95 games. Games they scored 5 or more runs, they were 66 and 18 last year. They've already lost 21 times when they've scored 5 runs this year.
Well, a lot of that is the bullpen. They've already lost 5 games this year where they had a 5-run lead.
That's right.
Which is remarkable. Which is why the Mets have to carry at least a little hope into the bottom of the ninth. Andrews strikes out on 3 pitches. So 15 strikeouts for the Met pitching staff today. But down by 4 as the Mets get last licks. More of a contrast, Rafael Montero had a dreadful day. Martin Perez was tremendous through 8 innings. He's got a 5-1 lead as we go to the 9th. Changes for the Rangers. Rugen Odor stays in at second base. Drew Robinson moves from second base to left field. Nomar Mazara moves from left field to right field. And Alex Claudio will try to get the final 3 outs.
Well, before this season, the Puerto Rico native had been really back and forth from Round Rock, their AAA team, but now appearing in his 51st game this season, trying to clean this up for the Rangers.
Soft tossing left-hander with a good curveball and changeup. Michael Conforto's gone 0 for 3 today. Mets have managed just 3 hits this afternoon, including a Wilmer Flores home run, and Claudio throws the fastball to get ahead 0-1. Jose Reyes on deck, and then Yoenis Cespedes for the Mets in the 9th. Met pitchers have walked 8 today. Martin Perez walked nobody in his 8 innings of work. Taps slowly. In comes Andrews to get it. 1 out. And that's the shortstop making the play. 1 out.
8 innings of work for Perez. Took him 89 pitches, Gary. Took the Mets combination of 4 pitchers, 210 pitches.
Wow. Well, the Rangers left 15 runners on base. They had 10 hits and drew 8 walks, 2 hit batsmen. So tons of base runners all day on that side. Not so much on this side. Reyes takes a strike. Reyes has one of the Mets' 3 hits, single to left in the 6th inning. Mets will be in Philadelphia tomorrow night with Jacob deGrom on the mound. Jake has lost his last 2 after his 8 straight wins. He'll be opposed by Vince Velasquez. Start of the 4-game series, Mets and Phillies. Changeup misses, 2-1. That's a lot of movement from that left-hander.
Reminds me a little bit of Javi Lopez, who pitched so many years for the Giants. Got himself 2 or 3 rings.
All wiggles and arms and legs. And he gets him with a changeup for the second out. So Claudio mesmerizing Reyes.
3/4 arm delivery. Well, maybe sidearm arm delivery. You see that changeup grip and pronates and turns that ball over almost like a screwball.
So the Mets are down to their final out of the afternoon with Yoenis Cespedes, who's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch back in the first. Pitching staff accomplished something that no Met pitching staff has ever accomplished before in their 56-year history ever. 8 walks and 15 strikeouts in a 9-inning game. They'd never done that before. Congratulations. Shot foul, and it's 0-2. There was one game with 8 walks and 14 strikeouts. That was in '86. Game started by Doc Gooden, but never 8 and 15. Cespedes fouls back to stay alive. Mets will be back here at Citi Field a week from tonight to start the back end of the home-and-home series with the Yankees. Starts in the Bronx on Monday.
Look at that elbow lead and then turns it completely over.
You can almost see that ligament
exposed.
Yeah, not in a good way. Cespedes takes the changeup inside, 1-2. Of the funky left-hander. 25-year-old Alex Claudio trying to put this game to bed. Cespedes wastes another one. Jay Bruce would be next. Cespedes foul tips it, strike 3, and that'll do it. The Rangers get a split of the 2-game series. Great pitching by Martin Perez. 3 runs in the first inning against Rafael Montero, 2 of them on another Joey Gallo home run. And the Rangers never look back as they beat the Mets today 5-1.
Watch this last pitch, just a change-up grip. Ball gets there around 70 miles an hour. Really kind of knuckles that pointer finger to take all the speed off of it, and Cespedes couldn't wait any longer.
Today's game summary presented by Tri-State Buick. Here's what you need to know. The Mets left 2 runners on base. The Rangers left 15 runners on base.
I mean, the game certainly just about ended in the first inning. Home run, balk, 3 hits. That was it for Montero.
Martin Perez, who had lost his last 4 starts with an ERA over 9, was right on top of his game. Wilmer Flores homered for the only Met highlight as the Rangers win this one 5-1, and the Mets finish off a 1-4 homestand. 5-1 the final. Rangers win it. Back with more from Citi Field in a moment.